na ballpen at notebook. Ha! Ngayong may 500 pesos na ako, pipilin ko na ang gusto ko. Oh, yung cute! 145? Ang ganda pa ng design niya. Bibilin ko to. Ito rin, mahilig kasi ako sa dogs. Ballpen naman. Ate, meron po ba kayo ng high-tech na ballpen? Yung napaka-high-end na ballpen na 0.5 yata ang ballpoint? Magkano po yun? 65? Mukhang bagay nga sa akin. Yeah, ate, I'll take this. All of this and much more. Ito po. Bago na akong things. Just love shopping. Kayo rin ba mahilig mamili? Mahilig ba kayong mag-shopping, window shopping, magpunta sa mga tiyangge o mga bazaar? Pero, naranasan nyo na bang maubusan ng pera habang namimili? Or worse, maubusan ng pera dahil sa pamimili?
Be advised, the opinions and views of the hosts and guests do not reflect those of the station.
Good morning, Philippines. You are watching the Business Portal, your gateway to business trends and opportunities. Coming to you live on Channel 8 via Destiny Cable and Channel 1 via GSAT. Good morning. I am your host, Rowena Suarez, and you can just call me Ro for short. Our segment, Investment Academy, talks about the different ways to increase investment capacity, financial literacy, and awareness. Investment Academy will show Filipinos not only how to make money, but also how to create wealth. A sunny Wednesday to you, our dear viewers. Let's start with the show with our Just Ask Ro portion. We have a texter from Pampanga. Last digits are 8709. Good evening. My husband works in the bank and I am a housewife. 3 children. Do we both need life insurance? Belinda, number one, I will ask you, does your husband have a life insurance? Because he is the padre de familia. He's the one who provides for your family. So he has to have life insurance that will take care of you when if anything happens. Let's say he earns about 500,000 a year. So multiply that by 10, that's 5 million. He has to have at least 5 million insurance so that in any case something happens to him, you guys will be provided for. If you've covered the life insurance of your husband, yes, you will need life insurance also. Why? Because there is also you'll also have to quantify that if something happens to you, how about your children? Who will take care of your children? So if something happens to you, then your husband will have to look for someone to take care of your children, and of course that will still entail money. So somehow you will still need life insurance. If you have more questions, you just text or email me at justaskro@gmail.com. And another message from Nardo of Quezon City, last numbers 1672. Anong business ang pwede kong umpisahan? Mayroon akong lupa sa Mauban, Quezon. Oh, nanood ka ng show namin 2 weeks ago. Ayaw ko na sana sa Metro Manila. Okay, Nardo, kung meron kang lupa nga sabi mo sa Mauban, actually I've been there. Maganda yung till ng land nila. So kung may lupa ka, pwede kang magtanim, at saka alam ko maganda rin ang mga you grow chickens for breeding. That's good. And then of course fruit bearing trees. Actually again, back to basics. You just have to know the kind of soil that you have in your land so that you know what will grow there or not. Okay, and then I have a messages from Facebook from my friends. They said, keep it up, Ro. I like your show. We are very we are well informed and more power, and that comes from, one is from my tita in New York. She watched it through YouTube, and another friend, longtime friend, sent me a message. For questions, you may get in touch with us through 0917-862-7576 or 0917-86AskRow. Email at justaskrow@gmail.com and Twitter justaskrow. You can also view the show on YouTube at Investment Academy by Rowena Suarez. May, it's still the month of May, month of flowers, month of fiestas, month of mothers, mothers-to-be, and hoping to be mothers. As the Filipino saying goes, ang ina ang ilaw ng tahanan, mothers make a house a home. As women, we sometimes tend to forget to take care of ourselves. We busy ourselves by taking care of everybody else but ourselves. So I tell you now, you need to, and we need to invest in ourselves and in our looks. How can we take care of others if we cannot take care of ourselves? Let us show you. Frank Provost is the only French franchise salon in the Philippines. Opened 12 years ago in Jupiter Street, Makati. Their vision was to create a most tasteful salon experience to give the distinct feeling of chic and casual elegance. Frank Provost Manila's philosophy is simple: French design and expertise applied with Filipino ingenuity and creativity. Fortunately, we are joined by the energy behind the Frank Provost team. He is the senior resident French stylist of Frank Provost. He has been a stylist since 1993 and earned a master's degree. Worked in his homeland, France, then in New York, Spain, and now in the Philippines. Let us hear more about his interesting experience. He makes you beautiful and is the most beautiful man in the world. Laurent Ebet.
Bonjour.
Bonjour, Laurent. And beside him is the marketing head of Frank Provost, the always fabulous Babette Gaborro. Bonjour, Babette.
Bonjour.
Thank you for being with us today, taking time out from your busy
you.
schedules. I know, Laurent, you have so many appointments, and for taking time out here today and being with us. So, brief history of your company, Babette.
Well, Frank Provost was envisioned in the year 2000, and they set up their flagship salon in Jupiter Street. What actually was very impressive about it at that time, of course, was it was the only establishment that was called a salon, and the standards that were brought in by the franchise of Frank Provost, being an international brand, were very different, and probably it would be safe to say that it was a first in the country. So
Salon, because before they call it parlor.
Well, yeah. I mean, nothing wrong with that. It's just that it really brought a different dimension to the aesthetics and the business of beauty. And what I do recall when Frank Provost still opened, I mean, what I remember distinctly, I was working abroad at that time, and I had heard about Frank Provost even when I was in Hong Kong. It was making waves in Manila as the first French franchise salon. So it's been a long time since that opening, but Frank Provost has managed to maintain that level of service, and it caters to a niche that appreciates that kind of service. So we still have a very loyal clientele. We're not mass market, but definitely what I think Laurent will be happy to attest to also is that the clients that have been with us since the start, most of them are still there.
So right now, so 12 years. Usually, businesses like this, they don't. I mean, they come and go, right? The usually salon businesses, but you're here to say because you've niched a market. You've niched a certain market.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the things, but the other aspect is that the ownership and the brains behind the Frank Provost franchise here, it's called Innovations and Concepts, they are dedicated not only to the business. That's actually probably not the highest priority, but it's more of it's being able to give employment to people, give a high value of service, and maintain that exclusivity that is only found in certain salons.
So you started in Jupiter 12 years ago. So how many branches do you have right now?
Aside from the flagship Jupiter branch, there are two other Frank Provo branches. One is in Alabang, and the other one is the most recently opened branch in Fort, which is where Laurent actually holds the fort, so to speak. And we have a sister salon called Fabio Salsa, and there also are two branches. One is in Rockwell Mall, and the other one is in Corinthian Gardens.
I see. So,
Village.
so Laurent, staying here, being here in the Philippines, working with the Filipino, can you tell us your experience?
Actually, it's so amusing. At the first time, don't want to come to the Philippines. I was like,
you don't want to come to the Philippines?
No way. What I will do there? It was just came for 1 year actually, but now today it's been 6 years. Donc I really enjoy it, and I was very surprised by Filipino people, especially where we work in the fashion, because Filipino are very, very creative. Donc I'm very surprised. It's very amusing. I'm very proud of creativity of Filipino actually. It's very interesting.
And what about the Filipino women? How do they receive that French styling? Was it hard for you to explain to them that you have to be, because you know usually Filipinos or Asians are very, when it comes to the style, they're very conservative. I mean, as the Frank Provost principle is being chic, being elegant, but so how was that?
Actually, it's been, well, like I said, 6 years I'm here, but it's been 6 years I work with my customer. Donc it's true, at the first time it's not so easy, because people have to gain your trust, you know, your confiance, we say that in French. But actually, if you have Filipino customer, she will stay with you for so long. Never she will change. She will, when at the point she trusts you, she just stay with you. Donc it's okay.
Do they usually want the same look all the time, or they're open to have different looks?
It's a little bit difficult sometimes,
Yeah.
you know, because people come to you, they tell, I want to change. Okay, can we cut? No, I want to stay with the same length. Look, you know, I think it's step by step, you know. Today maybe you go a little bit shorter, but I think it's much on the culture, on Asian culture as well. You know
The
what I
Asian
mean?
culture, yeah.
You have to go very step by step and slowly, like this.
Like when you just cut my hair, I said, Laurent, don't make it so short.
Yes.
Little by little, little by
Yeah.
little. So, so having that, and you've been here 6 years, so I'm sure you must have loved it. You love it here already.
Yes, I really love it.
Every bit of it.
Yes.
And what about the hair of the French or the Europeans compared to the texture of the hair of the Asians?
It's completely different, because Asian hair is a much bigger hair, because we have different type of hair, 3 type actually, Caucasian, Negroid, and Asian hair. Donc we have to work in very different way. Donc it's not like the same with Caucasian hair.
What, like women, okay, we're talking about women,
Yeah.
month of women. How do you think that the women should invest in themselves? I mean, of course, and they look like our caller earlier. Now, do I still need life insurance? I'm not working. You know, my husband instead. So how do they share? How do they value themselves? How do you think they should value themselves in terms of
I think hair is very important, because it's part of you. It's part how you present yourself. Donc for me, it's don't neglect your hair. You really have
so
to,
don't neglect your
yeah.
hair. No, neglect
You have
it.
to very, very be careful. Same when you want to find a job. You know, it's all. But generally, people look at you on your eyes, and what they see it's your hair as
Yeah.
well. Donc it's very, very important. Actually, for me, there are 2 things: hair and shoes.
Okay, let's look at our shoes,
Both.
Babette.
Good for both. Yeah.
Going back to the business side, no, Babette. Do you have programs and activities to promote entrepreneurship?
The Frank Provo Salon is actually an affiliate of the Isdanco Foundation. And the Isdanco Foundation owns...
What foundation?
Isdanco.
Isdanco.
ISDANCO. And they own the CAS, which is the Center for Aesthetic Studies. That's the school, which is located in Jupiter Street, and they have education